This thing, or at least its virtual entity, just won me a bullet game where I blundered my queen and still had a better position. And I ended up checkmating with this bad boy. Alright, before we hop in real quick, just leave me a comment below. Let me know your chess rating, why you like the game so much, maybe what you're trying to improve upon. I'd love to get to know you guys a little bit better, so go ahead and leave that comment below. Alright, let's hop into it without further ado. I'm playing with the white pieces here. And we have a modern, but you think that 1200 bullet players know how to play the modern correctly? Absolutely not. So here we go. I just go ahead and develop my pieces to good squares, bring my queen up, and close the center. You see, if I'm given the opportunity to just follow my opening principles, that's what I'm going to do. I got the whole center. I got my knights on their squares. I got the bishops out on good squares. My queen and my bishop are aiming over here, looking to maybe trade this off and get some kind of attack going with like h4, h5. And king is prepared to castle long to launch this pawn storm. Let's see how this cookie crumbles. He plays d5, and I didn't want to take and open up the center because, well, knight takes or even pawn takes, I'm sure. And now this bishop has a target. And the rook is staring at my king, the knight going to f5 or something. This is not what I wanted. So instead, I close it down. And now this bishop sucks. Yes. We have knight c6, knight e to c6, which you see the eval skyrocket up to white's favor. And that's because this move is awful, terrible move, because you need to play c5. You need to play c5. In order to contest my center and try to break it apart. That's the whole point of this opening, is to lash out at my center like this. And instead, you're just going to let me keep the entire center when you play knight c6. Also, how is your b knight getting into the game? If it can't go to c6, it's going to have to go to h6 or go to d7 and block in the bishop. This is just terrible. Also, this bishop sucks. So you have to play c5, or maybe knight f5 is even better. But, I mean, you have to worry about things like this, and knight e3, and here, and maybe, you know, you're just helping me launch an attack this way. But still, even that is better than knight e to c6. I play bishop h6. That was the whole plan, right? Get rid of this bishop, turn these dark squares into good old Swiss cheese. And I go ahead and take that bishop, and look at these dark squares. I mean, this control here in his position, I'm playing h4. It's coming. It's on the board. Here we go. h5. Yeah, you see, he just played knight b6. That doesn't do anything. The bishop is not getting into the game anytime soon, and neither is the c-pawn, which is necessary, because you're going to try and break my center apart with f6? I don't think so. All right. So we have knight c4. This attacks my queen and loses the game for black. All I have to do is take the knight and take here. And this rook, and this queen, and this pawn, and this knight, and these pawns, and the king castling, and that rook coming in, and this knight coming in are going to promptly checkmate the black king. That's all I gotta do. But alas, when you're playing a bullet game, you're automatically forced to lose like 80% of your brain cells. So did I notice my queen was hanging here? No, absolutely not. I got tunnel vision, played h takes g6. But here's the gag. It is still better for white. You'll see this pawn go on a capture chain here that's just ungodly. Oh my goodness. I hang my queen, and it's still better for white. Because after rook takes h7 check, here, all black has to do is play king f8 to hold the balance. That is the only move. And after king takes d2, black is still in the game. But I got this pawn, and it's looking pretty scary. Something like knight takes d4 is the best move, and that it's just strange. If you take here, then like queen here check, and you have to find this with black. But instead, my opponent plays king g8. And ladies and gentlemen, down a queen, I am now winning this game. Plus 5.25. 5.25 to be exact. Anyway, we have pawn takes. Like I said, this pawn, a killer. Takes with a fork This forks the king and the rook. The bishop defends my rook, so you can't take it. And you have to go here. And then I take the rook and queen, and he takes. And then I skewer the king to the queen and win it back. I win back the queen with interest. With interest, my friends. Because now I have an extra knight and a couple of pawns. And he hasn't developed anything. So it is +6.5. Let's see how I win this game. I immediately play rook h1, just looking to get my rook super active here. And the knight goes to e7. I pin it. I pin the knight. And then I wrap this knight around to put pressure on the pinned piece. PP on the PP. And so he defends with the rook, and I immediately just trade off all the pieces, because remember, I'm up a knight and a couple of pawns. This game is going to be very easy to win, especially because of how bad this bishop is blocked in here. I play knight b5, looking to win a couple of pawns over here, because like I said, I only have like 20% of my brain cells at this point, because of it's just bullet, and that's like the contract you sign when you play bullet. And I just didn't even like realize I had a pass pawn here and this pawn to help it out. So I go and fight on this side of the board. Why not? We have bishop here. I take this pawn. Nice. I play c4 and open the position up. He grabs this pawn, but here's the thing. I get e6 with check. King moves. d5. These pawns are going. You can't stop them. We have bishop f3. Okay, d6 check. The knight defends the bishop. Everything's defending each other here, so you have to go back. And then I play bishop h3 because I want to push these pawns, and my bishop was in the way. Yeah. We have bishop c6 looking to stop my pawns. I play e6, and we're getting in, ladies and gentlemen. It is mate in 13, but my opponent hangs mate in 1. After a5, I play e7 checkmate. This pawn, a killer. Oh, man. Look at this checkmate. The bishop cutting in here. The sniper cutting off all the light squares from the king here and here. Look at that. And it's a discovered, like, control of those light squares, too. The pawn mate, the knight protects this square. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. All right. Well, hey, if you made it to the end of this video, as always, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Make sure you like the video if you did like the video. Leave a comment below, as I said earlier, and make sure you subscribe, turn that notification bell on. All right, that's all I've got for you today. Have a good one, guys.